It was the end of the 15th century when Portuguese and Spanish explorers ventured to the edge of the world seeking riches and spices. European cuisine was never the same since. Spices brought cultures to a crossroad. Such is their power. You too can harness this power. You can grow some of your own spices. Here's how you can easily grow one of them, paprika. It's easier than you think. I'm Siloé Oliveira, weekend gardener and explorer of flavor. Follow me as I seek to become more self-sufficient in my suburban homestead. Here's how you can grow your own paprika and grind it into powder for seasoning your favorite dishes. Paprika is nothing more than a mild red chili that is dried and ground up. Start your paprika plants indoors 6 to 8 weeks before spring. You can find paprika seeds for sale online. Once all danger of frost is gone, harden off the seedlings for a couple of weeks. Plant them in the ground when the soil warms up completely. Plant them in a sunny spot. Like all peppers, paprika needs lots of sun and temperatures around 80 degrees to produce. It may take a while for you to get a ripe pepper, but towards the end of the season, you should have a good harvest of peppers. Pick the peppers when bright, red, and ripe. You can plant them in large containers. This way they can be overwintered and will produce even more in the second year. Since paprika, like other chili varieties, is a tender perennial that dies with frost. Tie them together in a chain and hang them in a dry, airy place with no direct sun. Being self-sufficient means producing what you consume. This will include producing enough calories to sustain yourself, enough carbs, protein, and fat. True, but what about spices? Although one of my elusive long-term goals is to produce most of my own food, I know I must make some concessions. Paprika is not one of them. I feel that it's better to dry them during winter here in Maryland because the climate gets drier. During summer it is too humid and it tends to mold. They will become ready when completely dry and brittle, shattering to the touch. Crack the tops off and shake out the seeds. You can save them for planting. Although doing this may seem monotonous, this is a perfect activity for winter when cabin fever is running high. It is sure to transport you to a lazy, summer, sun-kissed afternoon. I use a molcajete or a Mexican mortar and pestle to grind the peppers into a fine powder. A spice grinder should work as well. If you're using a molcajete, be patient. It's all about working slowly, making sure that you don't spill. The first couple of minutes will be a little awkward, as the large chunks of pepper try to fly away. This is a job of control and persistence rather than strength. If the peppers are not completely dry, they will not become a fine powder. They will basically gum up in large chunks. Once you break up the larger chunks of pepper, it will become easier to turn it into fine powder by using a circular motion. You will want to separate the finer powder from the larger chunks in order to toast your paprika for that smoky paprika flavor. If your paprika has been thoroughly dried, it should be a loose powder with large chunks and not a gummed up paste. Using a fine mesh, sieve out the powder from the larger chunks. You will be left with a few remaining flakes. You can continue to grind them separately. Put the powder in a skillet and toast it briefly. You do not need to add any type of oil. It will exude a delicious aroma. Be careful, do not let it burn. This should only take a few seconds. If it turns brown, it becomes bitter and loses the more subtle flavor overtones. Your paprika is now done, and you can store it and use it for months to come. It is especially handy to have a homegrown, freshly ground spice to brighten winter meals.
Kaye here in the late bloomer garden where borage threatens to take over. This garden is due for an extreme makeover.
Make sure to watch Kaye's gardening saga at her YouTube channel, Late Bloomer. Join me next time for more garden tips. Remember to send questions and comments to seedofchoice@gmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe to Suburban Homestead.